Hey guys, Joys of Sorrow again. Welcome to the Joys of Sorrow channel. And this time we're going to do an update on the 20-gallon long, 3.5 gallon. I don't know if I would call it long or not. I guess low boy. I'll call it a low boy. And then these 2.5 gallon aquariums. So, you know what? Let's start here. So, this is Pinky. Pinky is a female veintail beta. And she has been with us for about, when did I get her? Oh, sorry, just noticed. Lens looks a little dirty. There you go. But I think we got around April or late April or early May. And she's been in this tank ever since. And this tank I have very little to no issues with. The only issue I do have every now and then is keeping the fucking plants in that substrate. You know, these little plants right here seem to be doing just fine, but they definitely sometimes end up, not staying there, not wilting or everything, which is good. I did have to add fertilizer to this tank, which the fertilizer that I use is just the Flourish tabs, I think, by Seachem. So I usually cut 1 in half, or I cut 2 in half. In this case, I just cut 1 in half and put one on this end, put one on that end. So plants are, they have nutrition, and I'm also using, I think it's called Flourish, the drops, just to make sure those plants are lively and well, because I don't have a lot of light in there. That's my real concern with this, because I had one of these viney plants already, and it died real quick, but this time I'm taking a little more care of it. Indian almond leaves in there, that helps control the pH, helps with sickness, helps prevent sickness. And that's pretty much it for Pinky. Pinky's always doing good, Pinky's always doing great. Anything major as far as for her tank, 10% water change in the near future. Then there's Mally, or Mally number 2, I should say. Mally is always stressed out. Mally is always having issues. You can see right there from the torn fins, that's actually healing up a lot better than a couple weeks ago. But Mally has been still dealing with a little bit of fin rot issues, but it's mostly stress related. It doesn't seem, from what I can understand, not really doing medication. What I'm instead doing is dosing all the food with Vitachem, and slowly but surely that seems to be working out. He hasn't lost any more tissue, and it looks like he's recovered tissue too. So, but aside from that, Mally has been alright. Indian almond leaves inside there. 2 places for Mally to hide, and he actually has used them both, the rock and the log. And there are 2 bumblebee horn nerites in this tank. There's one right there. And I've also placed 2 little sprouting Java ferns. The Java fern in the 29-gallon tank is sprouting, so or putting out babies, or whatever you want to call it. I really don't know the technical term for plant babies. And so I just decided to put some in there, help absorb some of the nitrates. And all right, then there's the frog tank, which I still have stuff in front of. Oh, both froggies seem to be doing just fine. They are well fed. Water does stay a little murky in this tank. I've tested it. It seems perfectly fine. The only issue I do get is the nitrites do spike up a little bit faster than on the big tank. But again, this is not as heavily planted as either the smaller tanks or the big tanks. So, and I usually do a 20% water change a week on this one. So froggers are fine. there's the little dude. I think she's somewhere back there, but she likes to hide out. But here is the main attraction, guys. The 20-gallon long desert tank. So as I mentioned, the Java fern in the main tank is sprouting. So I've decided to take some of those sprouts slowly, put them in the crevices of the dragon rock or dragon stone. As you guys can see, some of the babies are down there, but these babies are very eager to come say hello to the camera. Hi everybody. Hello. Let's show everybody how big you've gotten. I swear these guys are growing about maybe a millimeter every other day, maybe every 3 days. This feeding pattern that I've developed. So again, I use Hikari Fancy Guppy in the morning, Spirulina brunch. Probably do either Spirulina or Fancy Guppy midday. Just really depends on how I feel. Fancy Guppy for midday or afternoon snack, and then Spirulina for dinner. And that's if I do 5 meals. If it's just 2, I'll go back and forth between Fancy Guppy, Spirulina, Fancy Guppy, Spirulina. And then the 5th item might just be something like thawed frozen Daphnia, or powdered brine shrimp, or as soon as I have the those live baby brines born, it'll soon be live baby brine shrimp. So water parameters, ammonia non-existent in the tank, which is great. Nitrates, there's a little bit. It's about 0.25. Nitrites 0.25. Nitrates, I'm pretty up there. It's over 20. It's gonna get to 40 soon. So today I'm actually gonna go and get some water, and I'm going to do a 50% water change on this tank. Another reason I can tell that the nitrates are pretty high is the bumblebee nerite has been still for a while, and he's been very, very sluggish at moving. Also, the back there, you guys can barely see him, but the yellow rabbit snail has also been pretty lethargic and not wanting to do anything. So that's a nice way to tell, hey, you know what, nitrates are too high, you need to do something about it. So, but yeah, look at how big these guys are now. These guys are massive. Let me see, hold on, let's give you guys a top view. They're not massive, but they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. Yep. Alright, guys, so that's pretty much the update for now in regards to the tanks that are up and running. I am going to have to get another tank up and running soon for those other fry. I don't want to put them in here just yet. I want these guys to grow out a little bit more, maybe another month, a month and a half. Then I can put them in the main tank till they grow out to the point where I can sell them. Yeah, but I do need to grow these guys out, so I do have some options. I mean, I have, well, there's that 3.5 gallon over there. That's still good. I have a 10-gallon right here, which is supposed to be the quarantine tank. I guess I could just put them in the quarantine tank and do the quarantine setup. And then back there, I have a 5-gallon aquarium. Actually, I think I have 2 5-gallon aquariums back there. One 5.5-gallon glass and a 5-gallon acrylic. One of the top fin ones. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it for this update. So, my plans for the day: go get water, 50% water change, test it, nitrates go down. The reason that the nitrates are so high is because of my lack of plants. Normally in a plant, like for example, a planet tank, such like Pinkies, or the main tank, since there's so many plants in there, they usually just eat that stuff up and it becomes nutrients for them. So in this case, because I only have the grass and the grass is doing okay, uh, I've noticed that the thicker patches of it seem to be having the most growth, where the littler patches seem to be having a little bit of harder time. But those big patches are starting to get the pieces that are starting to just come off and getting ready to just sail off and make more in the area. But I learned that lesson as well. So next time I do get some more dwarf hair grass, I'm gonna leave it a little more thickly patched. Um, but yeah, that's it. Guys, thanks for watching. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and have a good one.